The situation just after 9 AM on day 9. Up the front we have the Austrian, who seems to be gaining some height after crossing. Oh, she hasn't quite crossed the valley. It's the little spot that Maxime went back to. There's a cool video out by my mate Hamid, who saw Elizabeth when she stopped at turn point 10, the pass, and she had 17 kilos of weight strapped to her legs. So it's pretty hard for her to get around. It's like hike and fly race, what? So that might explain why she's done that detour in a flight to get around the sunny places instead of landing on the back and hiking up like Logan did. Yeah, it's... Logan has gone to the same place, but he's walked up the ridge to wait on top, so he's probably going to take off soon if he sees Elizabeth doing well just in front of him. And the Canadian has yet to glide, so they've still got to cross the main valley, but yeah, it's probably a good idea to top up as high as you can. In the morning the lift will tend to not be as high as later in the day. Japanese guy is taking off where Kriegel flew and did his decisive move from basically on the penultimate day, and the Spanish guy is in a position to launch as well. So going back to, well, we're in France now. Richie is in France. Now he's in the Chamonix Valley. Classic morning fun, sun-facing cliffs opposite Mont Blanc on the Brabant. He should be heading up there soon. There is some cloud around on the satellite picture and the webcam, but definitely worth having a crack. It's probably okay to not be up there right now, but I would be wanting to get up there pretty soon. And Kinga has just gone through Kriegel's hometown, that's what he called them, to Adler von Adelworden, my dodgy German. So she is hiking up to fly, so she will probably get shut down by storms. There's already rainfall to the west of the Alps, but she better give it a crack, I suppose. So yeah, that's the day. I forgot about Spike, so he is really out on his own. He was in this valley last night and he's climbed up and had a sleddy, which is awesome. Look at all the ground he's made. Saves a lot of road walking, but now he's going to walk up to the pass and hopefully he'll be able to fly into goal from there. Nice civilised way to finish. 1:30, Spike's just flown into goal, and there's rain developing both in the Chamonix and Dolomites ends of the Alps. So Spike's at the last turn point, he's flown in. The North Americans are flying along and Elizabeth is hiking back up to the launch, and the Japanese and Spanish are coming along, but Richie's meanwhile spiraled down to land in Chamonix. That's not Richie, that's Kinga. She's having trouble as well, but rainy over that way. And yep, he's gone for the normal landing. It looks like he's done an acro run. It's almost 4 o'clock now and there's a line of storms just coming through the Nissen turn point, as well as heaps blocking off the Biafrata turn point. So Kinga's just climbed through 2,000 metres, and Richie is actually walking up. He should be able to fly the western faces soon. It probably is a bit better now that the storms have passed through, and these guys are still flying, but these guys are being grounded by those storms. They're still pretty wet. So it's looking like elimination for Kinga tomorrow morning, even though she's up. She can do a little flight before the evening. Richie has had a flight from 6 PM, but he's just chilling on this Montjoly. And at the other end, we've got the Spanish guy hiking up to Chimborazo. Oh, the Japanese guy, I thought he was going to glide across the valley. Yeah, he probably still has time. That'd be a good idea, to cross the main valley before evening. And up the front, we've got a little split, but I think the Canadian had a late flight after the storms cleared, and I think he's still a bit too far to get to the next turn point where you have to climb a mountain and land in the bottom of the valley and finish tomorrow. So could be another day. Another day indeed. Logan more or less caught James in the air and Liz wasn't far behind. Japanese guy had problems swapping the foam with the supporter, and the Spanish guy went through the turn point, and Richie went for a big long walk. So Elizabeth is just tagging the turn point and she'll be just behind the North Americans. So it looks like there's a few showers going through to the south, but they've made it through. And the Japanese guy is flying. The Spanish guy is in a tricky area, just hiking up the valley at the moment. And back here there's a few showers and it's quite windy, so Richie hasn't had a flight yet. He's going for a Tour Mont Blanc. Day 11, just before midday, and up the front we've got good weather. There is storms around the Alps to the north and Richie from the southwest, but here it's good. So we've got a split in the strategies for how to get to the turn point. It's working out for Logan so far, but yeah, Elizabeth and Canada are on different routes, so they should get in today. And Japanese and Spanish guy are still heading towards the Via Ferrata turn point. And back here, Richie has flown down into Italy today, and it looks like there's a lot of showers approaching from the southwest now, so it might have been just in time, and I'm not sure if he's going to try flying again. I doubt it with the weather like that. He will be eliminated tomorrow morning. It's 20 to 3. Logan has finished and he's flying down to the float in 20th place, and Elizabeth will be the first ever woman to get to goal in x-alps. Well done. She was just in time. Day 12, so Richie's eliminated this morning. It's nice that he got to visit all the countries on his little adventure, and the Spanish guy is getting close to the last Via Ferrata turn point. Japanese guy and the Canadian, they should all finish today, and they have to really, because tomorrow morning, or just before lunch, the race ends, and some will be eliminated if they haven't finished at 6 in the morning. So good on Ellie for finishing, but I was a bit worried about her flight down because she would have had to get rid of all the body weights, and it was quite stormy. Like, she had to wait for storms a bit, I think. So you can see she's going to be really lightly loaded on the wing. So it's basically a kite that's too big for her. So a bit of an unfortunate ending, but well done. So really it went wrong for Richie back on day 2 when he crossed into Germany. Only slightly, but enough to not be able to launch at unofficial launches. And he could have gone back into Austria, but elected to push on by foot through, and he got some kind of allergic reaction which slowed him down for a bit. And then after that, I don't know, it's hard to tell what's happening with the live tracking sometimes, but it seemed like maybe he was not always taking full advantage of conditions, and really you have to fly in all kinds of conditions in the x-alps. So day 12, one wonders if Kriegel could have done a second lap around Mont Blanc, maybe skipping the valley turn points. It's 20 to 7 in the evening, and the Canadian has had a pretty brutal day, but he's finally flying down to the raft. He just looks like he got one little flight off the pass there, but otherwise, lots of rain going through the area. The Spanish guy has been stuck as well. He's been sitting on launch for a while, and unfortunately, that means he's probably not going to finish, because you have to finish by tomorrow before midday. Japanese guy snuck in a really late flight. I don't know how wet he got, but working southwest faces, he's made some good ground, and he's landed within striking distance of the main range to be able to fly off. Japanese guy has just landed on the raft, and there's some storms approaching from the southwest already, even though it's before 8 in the morning. So unfortunately, the Spanish guy probably has a hard time getting home. Well, thank you to everyone involved in x-alps. It was an exciting week, and I've got a couple of ideas for follow-up videos. One is 10 interesting things about the x-alps, and another is why Kriegel always wins.